Hi everyone, this is Joy with Hats of Joy, and just trying to do a couple pointers to help teach the young crafters how to get started. Today we're going to start on, I think it's September the 22nd, 2014. We're going to start with just a basic chain. This is the foundation to all crocheting projects. And you start with the needle and the thread, the yarn, and you turn the yarn to make like a little fish tail, as you see here. And what you want to do is you put the needle through that, and you want to pick up the string on the other side and pull it through that. And then when you're done, it should look like this. Okay? And you want to put your tension through your fingers like so. This doesn't give you too much yarn at one time. And I hold one hand all the yarn, so it frees the other hand up for just the needle. What you want to do is you want to pull that yarn through that loop as many times as you need to make a chain. This one is going to be about 5 or so to get you started. And as you're doing this, you are pulling it through like so, and it will give an appearance of a chain like so. This concludes the foundation of all projects. However, if you want to take it a step further, you can turn it into a circle of chains by taking the place where you're stopped at and the beginning of the chain, the first chain, and you want to go ahead and put the needle through that hole like so. And you want to pull that yarn through both of those and stop, and you've got a circle like so. Okay? Whether you prefer single stitch or double stitch crochet, I prefer double. But to keep it simple, we'll do single. You chain 1 to start the single row, or 2 for the double, or even 3 for the triple. But we're going to keep it single. And what you're going to do is you're going to go into that hole, the first hole, and you're going to pull that through to where you've got 2 of that on your hook. And to complete that first stitch, you're going to pull it through again for both of those. And that'll give you the first stitch. And if you want to do it like that 3 times, going through that hole like so. Sorry, I'm trying to do this to where I can see and you can see, and slow because I go fast. And then you want to go ahead and pull that through. That puts 2 of those in the first hole. You do 3, sorry, not to confuse you, go through that hole again, the same hole, and you pull that yarn through, stop. Got that appearance of 2 on there, and then in the second part you pull it through again, both of those, and you've got 3 single crochets in that first hole. Now, don't get confused. I might do this faster to eat up some of this time. And if you do that all the way around all those chains, you will have a circle like so. And it don't have to be perfect. Lord knows mine's aren't. Give me a second. I'll give you an after picture here in a second. Keep on practicing. with those single stitches. Okay, now I'm getting down to the last hole. I have crocheted them all 3 triple single crochets in each one of those chains all the way around, okay? Now this is the last one, okay? I don't know if you can see that. There's a little V there where I've got to connect this last row together. We call that yo through, Y-O. And you stick that needle through that last hole, which is the beginning of the row that you started. And you just pull it through, and it should complete that row, like so, okay? Anytime you start on the next row, you want to chain 1 for single or 2 for double. I'm going to do a double now, okay? And for a double, you have to do it differently. You have to pull the yarn over the needle and then go in that first hole, okay? And you pull that yarn through that first hole and stop, and you'll see it has 3 of that on there. And you pull that yarn over the needle and pull it through the first 2 loops to where it leaves you 2 loops left. And for the last part of this one stitch, you're going to pull that over again and pull it through the last 2 holes. See that long stitch? That is what we call a double crochet stitch. You did the single back on this row. Now we're doing double. This is my favorite, and this is the one I normally stick with most of my projects. You pull over 1, and then I go in through the same hole because I'm going to put at least 2 of these stitches in each hole, okay? Now, just to show you again what I did, I'm going to go do it. I did 2 in that first hole. Now I'm going to put, this is the second row around this project, so I'm going to do 2 in each hole instead of 3. 3 was in the first row, whatever stitch I chose. In this, I'll do 2, the second row, in each hole. 2 stitches in each hole. Okay? Like I said, you yarn the yo over top of the needle, go in the hole, and then pull it through and stop. That's where I'm at now. And then to complete this stitch, while it's in there, is you pull it through, yo it over, and pull it through the first 2. Okay? I don't know if you can see this. You pull it through the first 2, and you stop. Pull it through the last 2, and you've completed that stitch. Now that was another double crochet, but it's in the second hole. And what I'm going to do is repeat that in that hole to give me my 2 stitches in that one hole. So I got 2 stitches in the first hole, 2 stitches in the second hole. Now I need to complete that in a third hole. I'm going to put 2 stitches in the third hole. And if you see, I know you can't see, I'm going too fast, but I am repeating what I just showed you in all of these holes. Sorry, sometimes the yarn gets away with you. And I'm going around. I'm making a round pattern. This is good for round pot holders. This is good for starting round hats. And I'll show you in another clip how to formulate a round hat. Those who knows how to do round hats already, follow these threads and clips, and we will eventually show you how to cultivate more of facial figures, the other tricks and things you can add to your projects. And as you see, I am doing a half of a circle. I will complete this until it looks like a perfectly round circle, and it will be completed. Now the third row, you would want to do 2 stitches in the first hole, a single stitch in the second hole, and then 2 stitches in the next hole. Whether you choose a single crochet like we did in the first one, or a double crochet like we did in the second one. But whichever stitch you use, really you should probably stick with that stitch until the completion of the pot holder, or the hat. This can also work with the smaller needle and string for doilies and tablecloths. And if you want to use a bigger needle and bigger yarn, I use this needle you see right here. I call it my golden needle for everything I do. So it doesn't matter to me what you use. Other crafters will say differently, but it's really what you're comfortable with. So try out different needles, try out different yarns and smaller steams or smaller yarns or bigger yarns to get what you feel comfortable with and what you enjoy. And then you can watch your project bloom. That's it for today with Joy Magoon from Hats of Joy. Please use your tips. Text me at 252-917-7791 if you have any questions. And I will try to post another for the next point. Thank you and have a good day.